I couldn't move for what felt like several minutes until it finally sunk in. It was the realization that I didn't have a safety net anymore. This was the first time in my life I was entirely on my own. In a few weeks, I had my first bills to pay, and the only way to pay them was to sell coffee. My name is Patrik Rolf, and I'm a coffee professional. I'm the founder of April Coffee Roastery here in Copenhagen. I'm a competitor and silver medalist in the World Brewers Cup back in 2019 in Boston. Basically, I've done a lot of things during almost a decade of work in the coffee industry. And what I'm doing here now is I'm compiling all of the lessons, all of the experiences that I believe can be beneficial for other people to learn about. I'm writing about why did I start in coffee? How did I start in coffee? What did I actually do before? How was it to go from a CEO of a company to a barista in a coffee shop? And how was it to go from a barista to roaster to traveling the world to starting your own company? There's a lot of things that I've been up to, and I believe that sharing those is helpful, not just for you, but also for the industry. In the end, we need to share stuff to be able to grow together and become better than what we are today. So here I am, I'm launching my first book, and I need your help to get it done. What I try to bring to the table is an unfiltered, honest story of how I paved my own way in the coffee industry. I think it's important that we share inspiration and we share how we've done things so that the people that come after us have the opportunity to do it better, right? So I'm not here listing Arabica varietals or necessarily going into roasting profiles or how to brew coffee. I'm here to show you what I've done in this industry and where that's taken me, in good or bad, in moving to different countries and starting a company, competing in the World Championship. Bottom line is that I use the same approach that I use starting my own company. I infused this book with myself, basically. I'm sharing the only version of a book that I'm the only one that can actually do, and that's my own story. And I believe that in the end of the day, it's those stories from other people's that will help you grow. It will help you learn the lessons you need to know in order to take your own story and turn that into whatever you want that to be. For me, something that's been important ever since I started in the coffee industry was sharing knowledge, sharing experiences. I believe that that's the cornerstone in making sure that you develop as a person, you develop as an industry. And I remember back when I first started in the coffee industry, there just wasn't any guidance, there wasn't any experience. I imagine that if I had a similar book like this from my coffee heroes back then, I would have gotten to where I am today much faster and in a much better way, right? So in the end, it's just about sharing knowledge, being inclusive, and making sure that all of you that are trying to do what I've done in the industry so far have the tools to do that better, smarter, and faster than what I've ever done myself. So who is this book for? Well, this book is really for anyone that wants to take their hobby, take whatever they're nerdy about, and turn that into their professional career. It could be someone in the coffee industry that is looking to find, how do I level up? How do I move forward with my own career? Or it could be someone that is sitting at home working with different projects and really want to take that into, or from a hobby into something they can do professionally, right? I think the journey is very similar regardless of if you're in the coffee industry or if you're in any other industry, right? It's about taking that passion and turning that into something that can pay your rent, basically. And I'm not saying I have all of the answers to those questions. And my example is just one of many, but at least there is one, right? You have the opportunity of reading and learning firsthand how someone has done this before you. And I find that personally in my own journey as something that is very helpful. For myself, I've been learning a lot about how to run a business, how to navigate my own path simply by reading about what other people have done before me in various categories of life. It doesn't have to be just the industry that you're in. This whole story really started with a few years back when I started to journal myself. And that kind of led into, okay, but what about writing something? And then COVID hit, and I think as with a lot of people, you eventually had a lot of time on your hands, right? And I decided to take that time and turn that into something productive, right? I didn't want COVID to be years of Netflix. I wanted to take that time and actually turn that into something productive. So I started to write. It's been difficult, but I've been lucky. I've been having professional help since day one. I've been trying to really turn this into the best possible book that I can make. And it's important for me because a big part also of the book is realizing that all of the steps I've been taking in life or in my career so far has been steps that I wasn't ready for, or that I wasn't educated enough for, or that I just simply didn't know how to do. Because I believe that it's important to just kind of jump into it. In the end of the day, you're never gonna be really ready. You have to just get started and make sure that you become ready as soon as possible after you started. So it's been a really rewarding process. It's been 2 years of constant writing basically every single day, and I'm kind of happy to finally be at a point where I can say that now it's ready. Now it's just time for us to come together and make sure that we get it published. So why should you support this? Well, that's really up to you. In the end of the day, I kind of did my work now. Basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you take your next step, whatever step that is, if that's a coffee industry step or if it's something else, right? It's about sharing knowledge. It's about trying to make it easier for whoever comes after me to make things better than I do. In the end of the day, we need the next generation to be better than we were ourselves. And this is kind of my way of trying to do that, right? And I'm decided very early on in the process to self-publish, which is complicated. It's difficult enough to write a book. Self-publishing, it's quite daunting for someone that hasn't done it before. But that's why we're using Kickstarter. That's why we're here. That's why I'm asking you to support this. Because one, I think this book can make a difference for you. And two, I think this book can make a difference for the industry at large. And I'm kind of wishing that we all can come together here and make sure that we share our own experiences, right? Now, this is my experience, and I'm more than happy to kind of share that with you, and I want us to take that and make this industry better. I want to become better, both as a person, but also as an industry, making sure that you have the tools, you have the ideas, you have the inspiration to take whatever next step you feel you need to take.